Oh yeah, season 2, using Zoom
So if you had
instead of Jitsi.
All right. I think everyone should be able to hear me now and everybody. Uh, this is oddly reminiscent of the very first episode we had in season 1. But I think that's working. Maybe Matt will text me again to see, but yes, Zoom made some. It was just so easy with Jitsi, guys. I'm sorry. From a streaming perspective, I love the Jitsi. It was just working. But for Brooke,
Andrew, what virtual audio cables are you using?
Did you get a new camera? Because you look crisp.
Right?
well,
It's
this is
Zoom, apparently.
This is why I like. This is why I like Zoom. It's apparently making me look all sweaty. It's good.
Andrew's
Okay.
sweaty.
So,
She said,
Crisp.
High definition.
yeah, I'm definitely high def. I should put a little pantyhose over the camera lens just to clean out those edges.
Jordan is 1990s Frasier, but Andrew is 2000s Frasier.
Chef's kiss.
rest of the crew too. I went to my hometown and people were happy to see me, but I could tell that they were not impressed with the way that I left
Vehicles
that wedding.
of destruction,
And
but
they were, a little icy towards me.
it's there.
My uncle was pretty cool
I've
though.
heard
He
of
did
what
give
it
me
does,
a
but I've
great
not yet
map.
seen
No,
it.
So I've got a map of a much larger area. Like we are basically like we're like right here on the map. Like we're
season
zoomed
2.
in really quite a lot on
Using
this.
Zoom.
This is like the bigger
Jitsi.
area map where I kind of, and so I got to learn a little bit
while
about
we
more
were
history
drinking
and things
and
like that, which was quite fun.
partying in all those towns.
And
that
yeah,
magical
that's all
horn
that
of
I
bubbles that I have
put a couple of
ended
new
up coming
spells on so
in-
I can make people
handier
think
than I
that they
thought
fall
it
in
might
love with
when I
rocks
first
actually. So Dan, it's
blew
pretty
it.
good that you can imbue them with magic because I can
You
make
blew
them
it.
I did.
think that that's all they want so they can stop
Turns
hurting
out
me in battle.
people like bubbles.
So John Duran have that spell on
All
him?
right. I think everyone should be able to hear me now.
That's great.
Okay.
He had a thing with rocks last
He
season.
did.
Anyway.
And I'm also slightly nervous now around Joe Jonron and Tergar. Just a little meditation moment that kind of got me frightened. So I'm just kind of keeping my eyes on both of you.
Speaking of, let's have you roll for your important. Let's get that settled.
Okay.
Yeah. Jordan. No, you can't use them. Those are there for future reference.
4 and 7, so I can make people fail today.
Sweet. I love it. You're like, guys, can we take a long rest for no reason?
Yeah, exactly. I need to get rid of some rolls. No, that'll come in handy. A known failure is just as helpful, I think.
It saved us last time.
It's true.
Did.
All right. So now that the technology is back up to something resembling normal, I will recap a little bit more briefly what I recapped more lengthily before, which is that the crew saved Orlane, and then Christine got a note and is going down to get a boat. So that because Christine's background as a sailor, she can secure a ship's passage for herself and her friends, which is awesome. So she found some berths on a river barge. This would have been from Shibboleth. You guys took the Watchtower Road down from Buxton's Crossing, just a hop, skip, and a jump down from Orlane. You took the road down to Shibboleth, secured the passage there, and then it was the 3-week river cruise, which is more like a vacation after what you've been through. And you went through Shibboleth, Ghostgate, Lortonford, Axgard, Lunaden, the marvelous capital of Keeland, which is Niall-a-Dra. And then eventually you got up to the Silverwood, which is just really close to where Brooke hails from, the elven town of Isa-le-Duin, where she decided she would pop in and see her fam. I think we all had recounted while the voices were working how Al had run into his colleague Nicholas in Niall-a-Dra and may or may not have discovered gunpowder or been party to gunpowder. We're all curious
Certainly
what those barrels
didn't steal
are.
a lot of it. Certainly didn't.
Yoink. So there were some things happened in the Silverwood, which we may come back to retrospectively in flashback form. But then after that, you continued on to Keoford and ended up in Gradsul, which is the, as Al so succinctly put it, the New York of Keoland, which is the mercantile center of the region. Everything gets bought and sold there. Everything you could think of and more. So if you didn't buy it in leading up to now and you want to buy it now, here's your chance, because now you're going to be changing boats, going on to a more beefy galleon to take you the last stretch down to Saltmarsh. Does anybody want to buy anything that they have not bought so far?
Yeah, I just went ahead and did some buying, but I can fill
Cool.
you in what I bought.
What did you buy, Jordan? Tell the rest of the class.
Well, I replaced my fine clothes because we lost my fine clothes in that fire.
True.
And I also replaced my explorer's pack, which
Lane, and then Christine got a note.
And then I bought a climber's kit because I've always wanted to do some climbing on the road just to keep fit, good exercise. You know, I know we're going to be in a boat, but we'll be in land one day. And I bought a magnifying glass.
Whoa.
Slow down.
So,
Slow down.
that will help
High
me.
tech.
I can now look at things closer up.
That's
It cost
lovely.
100 gold pieces.
I just moved closer.
It cost you 100 gold pieces?
It cost me 100 gold pieces.
You know how hard it is to polish glass like that?
I tried to barter with the guy. I said, how about 80? He said, how about 150? I said, how about 75? He said, how about 200? So
So you realized how that was going.
we settled on 100.
Nice. Probably should have had somebody, do the buy-in for you.
Yeah.
You should try to point that magnifying glass at the sun pass through that and point that at some of my black powder and see what happens.
It might be worthwhile in the future to combine.
Might be
those two.
worthwhile.
Could be
You
fun.
need to take me with you. Just let me. I would love to just step in. I bought this new club, and I could wield it in front of the shopkeeper.
Well,
From
look,
the
We're all
measures
high
you
tech
get.
over here with chemicals and lenses, and
while
old
we were,
Terragar's got a new club.
look, I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but I went on a bit of a mission while we were on our way down here. Andrew, is it all right if I
Absolutely. Yep.
brief them?
You can relate any details you want.
So yeah, I was gone. I was away for a couple weeks, you guys.
Yeah, we
You're
know.
probably wondering what happened. Long and the short of it is, I got 200 gold pieces, and so that allowed me to kind of splurge a bit on the magnifying glass.
What were you doing? How did you get the 200 gold pieces?
Well, a masked rider gave them to me. He imparted a message from my family, which I don't really need to talk about that
Well,
right now.
What do you mean?
He was wearing he wasn't actually wearing a mask, but anyway, I also went on a mission, and it left me feeling a bit hollow.
Did you kill anyone?
Inside. I did. Yeah. I was sent off to well, I'll tell you, to track down and kill an oath breaker, and obviously
Ooh.
oaths are very important to me. But it's made me feel like I'm on day 2 of a vaccine side effect. I just kind of feel hollow and tired. It's just a real bummer to have to go after oath keepers like that, or oath breakers. And
You could have just asked me. I really don't mind killing people.
I'll remember that for next time. I'm sorry. It felt like something I had to do myself, Anyway, I got a magnifying glass now, so
Yay!
Sounds like a worthy exchange.
Wow.
All right. So the contents of Nicholas's cargo, the 12 barrels of powder, which Norman definitely did not take a bit of, are transferred from the river barge that you had been traveling down onto the galleon, which you're gonna cruise down the coast in. You gather up your stuff, you get on board, and you make your way down the coast, stopping off at, this is the bus route of the fantasy medieval world, and you stop off at Sanduchar, Ranis, the dwarven coastal capital of Wave Rock, and Anglar.
that's actually my favorite genre of music.
Wave rock.
Wave Rock.
Yeah, it's like Boz
Yeah.
Skaggs, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a bit more of a split rock kind of guy.
Yeah. They. No, I can't follow that up. So it is actually outside of Split Rock when your captain. You've been getting to know the crew on this ship, much like you got to know the crew of the river barge that you were on, and he's a long-standing captain. He's plied this route going on a dozen years, and he came up the ranks serving in various ships. Captain Shanks is his name, and anything you wanted to know about this coast, he can tell you. So, is there anything you want to know about any of the places here, or specifically Saltmarsh, the place you're ultimately going?
Mermaids? Any mermaids?
Wondering
Oh,
about
I've-
pirates as well.
I've seen
Mermaids
many a
first.
mermaid in the distance, but I've not had the chance to meet one. They're dangerous creatures, I hear.
Best
Speaking of
beaches.
danger, how about pirates? How are the pirate activity along the coast?
It's not. They've been seen, but we've got a good standing navy here in Keeland. You've no doubt seen the frigates going up and down the coast.
So many frigates.
But not a ton. But they are gathering in Seaton. The navy one day will make a push against the Sea Princes, to be sure, and reclaim the
Yes.
territory we've lost.
This is an open secret.
Gotta say, Captain Shanks, this is more frigates than I've ever seen in my life. So I don't know what you're saying.
Same here.
Not that.
I haven't
this
seen
is
more
this is a
than
lot of
one.
frigates to me.
I have a question for you, Captain. Have
Yes.
there been any problems in this area on the horizon? Any great evils that are maybe emerging from the mists of the sea, or
medium evils?
no? I specifically want to know about the great evils. Who cares about
This is-
medium evils?
Well, Elf, I am but a humble sea captain. I ply my trade along this coast, and I keep my head down. If I see trouble, I tend to make a run. We're not fixed for combat, and I've no intention to brook trouble.
You haven't
So-
heard of anything though? Other captains, other seafarers lost at sea?
Sorry, I think you mean Nima trouble.
We talk, the other captains. We share a pint when we get to the shores, and there are tales of hideous beasts. I've not been unfortunate enough to actually meet one, but as for whether it is getting worse, I cannot say.
Captain Shanks, have you seen Captain Faskatan in a while?
Faskatan?
Yes, recently. No.
No, I have not seen him in a while, nor his ship. I usually run into him along this coast. We occasionally run the same waters, but as of late, I have not seen him. Not for going on 6 months now.
6 months.
Captain Shanks, how do you pass the time on a long boat rides like this, typically?
Well, I don't mean to brag, but I've been practicing my whittling. And he pulls up a very poorly done statue made in wood.
Oh my gosh, that's me.
Well, no, actually, it's
Ooh.
But thank you. I will keep at it.
Lovely handiwork.
Captain Shanks.
And as you are
Am I right, guys?
as you are moving down the coast, the Split Rock, probably about 5 miles away, you can see cooking fires and such on the horizon. It's getting a little closer. That'll be your destination for the eve. Everybody should make a perception roll for me, please. Roll your
All right,
20-sided
and
die.
I remember that Tergar rolls terribly and rolls a 4.
What?
Wow, spiteful.
What? What did I do? What?
You rolled a 4.
Why?
Apparently,
I
Tergar
remember
was.
that you rolled a 4.
So I'm not rolling right now?
There, see, I rolled
You're
a
not
4.
rolling, my friend.
You
No,
gotta
you
keep
rolled
What
a
is
that.
4.
going on?
Vicious.
Don't
No.
test Nima.
Apparently.
Am I able to pull Nima aside here?
Yeah, sure.
Nima,
Yes.
look, I've noticed ever since we started on this next journey, you've been acting a bit strange and weird. What's wrong?
First off, there's nothing wrong with me recognizing that you didn't perceive your environment very well. I just called it, and it was true. It's not like I made it so. That's not how divinity works. That's not how this sort of thing works.
I don't know. Just you've been acting different, and that has me concerned.
I appreciate your concern. I do have different feelings, but they are nothing but love and support for you, I promise.
Oh, I feel the same. You know that I'm aware of everything that's happened between you and my brother, but I just want you to know that I'll always have your back and I'll always support you.
Yours, and I you.
So stop giving me fours.
I didn't give you. That's not all right.
While this exchange is taking place, you note a sail approaching from the opposite direction. It
I
is.
already bought everything I needed in Gratzel.
It's the other kind of sail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It is not a moving economic feast. It is.
Buy one, get one free.
Yeah, it's a BOGO. And it's a single sailed vessel, and it's seemingly heading quite close on the same tack. Not the same tack, obviously, but you're sharing a wind. But it is not exactly avoiding you, but not exactly, coming straight towards you either.
What colors is it flying?
It flies the Keolan colors.
Okay.
Do I recognize the flag?
It's
the
so, yeah. Well, Keolan, you guys aren't citizens of Keoland. You're citizens of Ulek, the Duchy of. But you're relatively well versed citizens of the world. So, and they're your neighbors, so you're certainly familiar with their flag. But ships do fly the flag of the countries that they're registered in. So this one and the flag that your vessel, the galleon that you're on, is a Keolander flag. So it is a similar flag.
Cool.
I'm sorry, this is traveling towards us or with us?
You, Turgar and Nim are having a conversation and miss all of this. The only people who are noticing this are Glonda, Gnorman, and Jojandaron.
And is it traveling with us? Or
yeah. Or it looks like it's going to meet us in Split Rock, is what it sounds like.
No, it's looking like it's left Split Rock and coming your way.
Oh, okay. Hey, Joe John, that magnifying glass, see if you can spot any detail on the horizon. Does that help? Is that how magnifying glasses work? I don't know.
I have to say,
Uh-oh.
I guess that's not how it works.
I don't know if he's being a statue.
Bad 90s TV cliffhanger.
There we go. He's back.
You're muted, Jordan. Or Joe Jonderon, sorry.
Sorry, I dropped off there for a second. That's not how magnifying glasses work.
Okay, got it. I always get them confused, all the lenses. Right. I didn't do very well in lenses at the Institute.
If you turn it around and look through it the other way, does that help? Okay, come on, people. That was an easy gimme, and you're not even gonna gimme. My God. Doesn't. Cool. So.
There.
You receive no response to your hail. Shanks looks a little bit suspicious of this.
Oh, Shanks is with us. That's nice. He's our captain.
Well, Shanks,
what do you think?
What's your first intuition?
He says they're flying the right colors. I recognize that boat. That's the Maiden's. That's the Maiden. Let's actually say it's the Blue Maiden, because that's a much better name. But
him and I still talking, or are we now?
Okay, you're now part of this. You see a little conference is happening on the
My eyesight is still poor enough that I can't actually see the ship that they're talking about.
That's fair.
So I have a 16 perception. Is there anything I perceive about the ship other than just its flag? And do we know the name of the Blue Maiden?
You notice that you can't see any crew on it.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
You don't see any crew. Like nobody is above the deck or on the deck, or at least in a way that making themselves obviously visible.
Hmm.
All right, well, let's just keep going.
Maybe
Let's
it's a
just go
ghost ship. Maybe everyone's dead.
Does it matter? Should we just keep sailing to Split Rock and proceed as planned? I mean,
Sure.
Are we going to Split Rock or Saltmarsh?
Somewhere.
We have to
We're
stay
stopping in-
overnight in Split Rock.
Oh, okay.
That's right. It's a bit of a distance from Split Rock. It's around 40 miles still. So normally he would stop here. He'd drop off some cargo, anybody else who wanted to drop. But I mean, the day's getting long. The sun's beginning to set. He doesn't like to sail at night. So.
Let's get a fish sandwich and settle down.
How paranoid are we? Should we take should we not? Maybe we could drive to Saltmarsh or take a train or something instead of the boat. There's a road.
Take a what?
I'm sorry,
a
what's the
train
train?
of wagons.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Have I ever seen anything like this before? The boat without any, or have I heard of any tales of this in my time as a sailor?
No, you've definitely heard tales of this kind of thing. Ghost ships, that sort of thing, but it doesn't look like it's on no. I mean, it's still a little ways off. It's getting closer. As time goes on, you do note that it is angling towards your boat. So it's not like it's on a perilous course on some direction. It has consciously turned to face you.
But it's not hailing us back.
It is not
Collision
hailing you back.
course.
Captain, how does that make you feel? You're the captain.
Makes me feel a little bit wary, to be honest. If you've got any weapons and such, I suggest you'd ready them.
Oh, Captain.
She's
Wanda,
faster than us.
How do we prepare? Show us the ropes.
Okay, first of all, the ropes are next to the mast.
Got it.
Thank you.
Any long distance weapons you have?
I have a blowgun.
The ship is armed with a ballista, basically a giant crossbow mounted on the deck. This is a picture ancient naval tactics, so there are no cannons yet. But the ships would normally be armed with either catapults or ballista. And your ship has one of each, and one in the fore and one in the aft.
I'm gonna
And some
grab-
magic rocks.
I'm gonna
And some
grab
magic rocks.
onto the ballista.
Typically, naval combat is smash into each other and engage in melee, kill everybody, and take their ship. That's the usual strategy.
Do we? Because Terragar, you've got that spell to imbue rocks with magic. Do we have any rocks? Like if we were to catapult a rock,
I do. I carry
some
them
sort of
with
magical
me.
rock.
I actually carry them with me. So I have these rocks with me, but also I've got I've learned a new spell called Gust of Wind. So I can actually blast that ship with some wind power, either to either propel us towards it. We could ram it maybe if we take our bow and aim it at its port or
I say we let it get
starboard.
close enough, and then if we need to run away, we can use that to run away.
That's what
or
I
if
was
we
thinking.
need to push them. Yeah.
That-
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I like it.
By the way, I have my bat with me. I want that to be noted. My little bat's with us. So if I need I could get my bat to fly over to the boat.
Oh,
and
to
check it
do
out.
some reconnaissance.
Yeah, some recon.
Did you want to do that?
Yeah.
Because you can see through its eyes when you
Exactly.
concentrate.
Damn. Cool.
Let's
Hey,
do it.
How long
Fly.
have we known about this bat? Did I miss something here?
She picked it up on the way when she passed by our hometown. I'm sure.
Okay.
No.
Remember-
There was like a scroll that I found, but then I wanted to make it my own, which meant I needed a brass brazier, which I didn't get until the very end of our battle when we found one on the wall. So then I was able to actually put the Find Familiar spell into my spell slots And now, if I want to, I can prep it as a spell in the day, basically. And then I have a little familiar with me, and it can be a variety of different things, like an octopus or whatever. So right now I have a bat, and if it dies, it dies. But then the next day I can spend a little bit more time and money and stuff and make it again.
I love how you're still calling it a brazier.
Up.
Yeah, it's always going to be a brazier.
It's always going to be a brass brazier, the most comfortable
That's
brazier
where
you'll
the
ever
power
own.
lies.
That's
Yes. You don't want to know where you burn that fire. So the bat flies aloft and goes over, and as you look through its eyes, you can see crouched in the boat, and such are some very burly-looking sailors. In fact, they're not humans or elves at all. They are a collection of orcs, goblins. And they are hiding and carefully tugging on ropes and such to keep the ship on course towards you.
Sorry, how far is the ship now from us?
The ship is now about 60 yards distance and getting quite close.
Okay, my bat comes squeaking back, hopefully, doesn't get shot down by them. And I inform everybody of what I just saw. Goblins and orcs, oh my! They're going to attack us!
Right.
Can you catapult me over that boat? How many orcs and goblins are there?
There are.
We only saw the ones on the deck. Like, who knows
Yes,
what's below?
on the top deck I saw.
Well, it's
I
a
don't know.
smaller ship. It only has one deck and it's open. It's more like a giant rowboat, but it's got a sail
Well,
on
then why
it.
don't we just blast it with our ballista?
Or ram it. I'm sure we could survive.
Yeah.
Come out of that.
If we know it's orcs and goblins and they're coming towards us, we got all we need to know. Let's be offensive here.
Let's be offensive.
Okay.
Be
Offensive.
Be offensive.
All right. You heard the man. Let's
All right.
battle stations, I guess. Is that what we're saying?
Is that all right? I mean, they're orcs and goblins. Do you agree?
Come on,
that we should
Shanks.
use our ballista?
Yeah, Shanks, what do you think?
He says, well, we won't outrun them, so if they want to fight, then they're going to get one at this rate.
Have you got any weapons on you, Shanks?
I've always got my trusty cutlass. Shing!
All right, ready up, Captain.
All right.
Time for war.
So, for the purposes of this combat, Nicholas and his henchmen who are guarding the barrels are indisposed. They had too much grog the last night. You have at your disposal Captain Shanks, the first mate Carius, and 6 sailors. No, wait, 5 sailors.
Okay.
And,
Is there a close up on the map of this?
I'm just about to switch the map.
Okay.
Did you say
Sorry.
first mate Carius?
Yeah, have
Curious.
you met Curious? Do I go way back with him, like from high school and stuff, or
Ooh.
he's a stranger?
Ooh, shit, there's a lot of them.
Yep. Why am I not seeing? Do you see the boat and such, or is it all
Yeah.
black?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
this
getting
is
the 2 boats.
beautiful.
Black grade person.
Cool.
I'll refresh.
Yeah, I need to refresh too.
This is our first.
Well, wait,
Just,
too. I have some spells that I could use before we even start our battle. Like, I could blast them. They're all stuck in a little radius, and if their boat isn't touching ours yet, I could do some serious damage.
Okay, so let's give you the round previous to do any spell casting you want to do prior to.
To them, like, getting right there. Okay.
And you can place yourselves and the sailors anywhere you want.
Okay.
I'm on the big cross bow thing.
In fact,
Okay.
I will make it so that everyone can move the sailors. Everyone up
These
there.
Axl Rose looking mothers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not using Gust of Wind then, am I? Just yet.
Everyone up there.
No,
Okay,
no,
so now you can
hold.
move the sailors wherever you want. But
Operation
eventually, when they
Shield?
crash, you see the first 4 orcs are starting to get up top, and they're going to jump over is their intention. So everyone should also, when we do this first round, and you've told me what spell you want to cast or where you want to move yourself, then after that's done, we'll roll initiative. Shanks is
How
going to
far
stay where
away?
he is because he's on the wheel.
on the bridge.
He's on the bridge.
I'm going to be doing a lot of my things from afar. like for example, shatter. So I want to be far enough away, and I'm just trying to remember the
Radius?
It says range is 60 feet. So I just need to, and if I want to get even like goblin number 2, for example, let's see, that's every square is 5, right?
That's right. If you click on yourself, then you'll also see the range when you move your mouse around.
We're not rolling initiative just yet.
I got
So
it.
this-
spells right now, right?
So this first
This is
round
just
is
a
just
free-
casting any prep spells or moving yourself and everyone else where you want them to be.
So can I
So-
cast a like a cantrip right now,
Sure. What do you want to cast?
like Shillelagh?
You can certainly cast that.
Okay. And actually, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Can I cast Shillelagh and then as a bonus action cast Flame Blade?
I believe we've discussed this. Absolutely, you can do that.
Great.
Chair
That's
recognizes Joe Jonderon.
So if I want to use like Wrathful Smite, do I have to designate that now before my turn, or is that a turn-based movement?
That is, I believe that's a bonus action, so you can do that whenever you cast your spell. Sorry, whenever you make an attack. If you hit, you can be like, and I'm going to use a Wrathful Smite, I think. Let me just double check real quick.
And are these guys creatures? Orcs and goblins?
Okay, sorry, I'm going to just... They are creatures. I will say that you have to cast it before you do your attack. So you can't hit and then be like, and now it's going to be Wrathful Smite, everybody. So, but it will last up to a minute. So that's 10 combat rounds.
Okay.
Yep.
So just after I make, once I'm attacking, I can say that.
Tell you what,
you can
I'll fire a warning shot,
no.
Radiant Bolt.
Well, I was thinking
No.
my shatter is pretty sweet in that it does 10-foot radius. So I could basically do it on goblin number 6 and basically just knock a whole whack of them down if I tried to do shatter. I think
Yeah,
that would be...
let's do it.
Is radiant, does the one that you just say, does it also have a big radius?
Probably not that big.
No, it's a single target for your...
Right, it's got range,
your-
but it
your
doesn't
bolts.
have... Okay, got it.
Okay, then I
Yep.
think shatter would be the best bet. Because it says each creature has to do a constitution saving throw. They take 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save.
You should go for Hobgoblin instead of number 6.
10
You,
feet. Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah.
The only other thing is where Nim is right now, I don't think she can see into the boat.
Yeah, the
Like,
mast is kind of.
yeah.
Okay, so she
There's-
might want to move a little bit lower, like on this. What if she moves here?
If she was here, she could sort of lean out and see into that boat. I will say that you saw that the goblins were armed with bows, and the orcs are armed with big axes.
Okay, I relay that information.
Sorry, who's got the bows?
The goblins.
Goblin.
Goblins. What about the hobgoblin?
The hobgoblin's got a wicked-ass greatsword.
Uh-oh.
He's a
he
bad
sort of the-
temper.
is he looking like the leader of this pack?
Sure is, yep.
Yeah.
Wait, you think orcs are going to boss a hobgoblin around? Come on.
Hobgoblins are the bomb.
All
All
right.
right, let's shatter this mofo.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. I will use shatter.
Okay, so... right, so they have to make a saving throw. Can you ping where you want that shatter to land, given that it's...
I don't remember how to ping.
So click
There we
once on the
go.
bell. There you go. So right on the hobgoblin. Okay.
I think because
Nice.
that's going to get goblin 1, 2, 3, and 4, as well as orcs 5, 6, 7, and 8, 5, 1. Maybe not 3 because I
Yes.
don't think it works diagonally. Yeah.
That's right. It'll get that'll get orcs. Yeah, that'll get goblins 1,
Well, all
orcs.
goblins except for 4 and 2.
So technically it won't get 4 and 2, yeah, but it'll get the other
That's right.
goblins. Okay. So I'm going to make some saves. I'm going to find out what a hobgoblin gets for a save. It's Constitution save? Okay, he gets +1.
Yep.
Okay, and what's your spell save DC?
My spell save DC, what a great question, what's? Do you mean my attack bonus? What do you mean? What's the spell save? Why have you?
Your spell save DC, it is
Oh, 16?
16, yes.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
So that's fine. That's the number I have to beat. I
Yes.
get +3 to this roll,
Ooh.
and I get a natural 1, so the Hobgoblin is going to take full damage. You can roll your dice now, and I'll just keep on rolling saves.
I'm rolling my 8s, my 3d8.
3d8. Poor old goblins get +2.
If you fail miserably, does that do that something fun? Do they fall on their back or something?
No, not for that. Is that 15 points, though?
15.
Ouch.
And she
Okay.
goes, taste my something. She's just feeling it.
Okay, these goblins are getting +2 on these. Neither of them makes it. They both die. 'Cause
Whoa!
they don't have a ton of hit points. Update.
Good.
That one dies.
You're a stone cold killer.
Yeah. And then we've got 4 orcs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they get +3.
What
+5.
happened to the
actually.
hobgoblin? He got a good.
He took damage, but he didn't die.
Yeah, of course.
These guys get +5 to this roll. None of them made it, so
None of
they
them.
all take full damage.
Woo!
Wow. Nice one.
And they all die. Wow.
Nimmerillion.
Sweet.
Holy
And
crap.
the hobgoblin screams with from the damage he's taken, but he is still alive.
Does he seem a little bit like perturbed by the fact that we just decimated his group? Is he reconsidering what he was about to do?
Well, let's go into that. See when people go on initiative. He may very well turn the boat around, but
Okay, I was just like, I think we just showed him our power.
indeed. So Jorjandron's not yet on the boat. He's still back over there because we don't know when he goes. So everybody roll your initiative, please. Roll a 20-sider and add your init score to it. And Dan, you get to roll one of those dice.
Oh, shoot. Why did it go 2?
I don't know.
Should I just re-roll?
Yeah, just re-roll it. Ooh. Get that out of the way.
Yeah.
15 total for me.
Okay. Let me add those
Might roll go
down.
through.
I didn't see one yet, friend.
I didn't see one either.
Okay. Update Glonda gets 15. There's Jordan. What's your total there? Is that still an 8 total?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what do I add for that?
Where it says init or initiative on your sheet.
Yes.
What do you got total?
Rusty. So
3,
I got
think?
4 total.
4. Excellent. You're going last. How about Norman? When does he go?
14.
14. Excellent. And then Brooke, when does Nimmerling go?
13.
13. Excellent. Oh, you put it in there. Great. So that means Glonda goes. Did I miss anybody? No, I think that's everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Glonda goes first to 15.
Okay.
What you gonna do, Glonda? What you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I have so many tabs open right now.
Why are you at the back of the ship, Blonda?
I was getting on the freaking
On the crossbow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, cool.
but I don't think I can get in there without them having enough like decent coverage. So I don't
You would be
know-
attacking at disadvantage if you were going to attack any of
yeah,
those guys.
so I don't think I'm gonna do that. When I could do something cooler, such as. I'm gonna do a spell. Woo! Woohoo! I just want to double check because it's a new spell. Okay.
Oh yeah, does my bat need an initiative or is it my initiative?
It's your initiative.
Okay.
Okay. So 10-foot radius, it's just gonna be like 2 cubes, right?
Yeah, and the diagonal is 1 cube. So
Okay. So from Hobgoblin, for instance, goes up to dead number 5, but also to alive number 8.
That should be dead number 8.
Oh,
Done.
I did it.
that should be dead number.
Yeah.
I love it.
Then I'm gonna try and do this to here,
Okay.
which I think will hit 3 orcs and the hobgoblin.
And Sailor 1 if it's a 10-foot radius.
Oh. Okay,
Maybe
not
he
then.
had it coming though. They're not all nice guys.
We don't know.
If you did where Goblin 5 dead is, you could get Goblin 2, Orc 2, Orc 3, and Hobgoblin.
Goblin 2, you mean, or Goblin who?
No, Goblin 5, dead
This
Goblin
one.
5.
Okay.
Or
Oh,
that's
yes,
dead
pardon
Goblin
me,
1.
1. Sorry, 1. Yeah, the numbers are weird for me. Yeah, 1 would be the best shot because then you get 4 of them.
Okay, then I'll go there.
Sorry,
And I'm
I'm
gonna do-
still not clear which one you're attacking.
Sorry.
I'm attacking the dead one.
Right here. There. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll get 3 and 2 and Goblin 2 and the Hobgoblin, but you won't get Orc 1 or
That's right.
That's fine.
3. That's fine. What are you shooting there?
I'm shooting Earth Tremor.
Earth Tremor. Tell
Earth
us
tremor
what that
on the
does.
water.
I will cause a tremor in the ground in a 10-foot radius. Ba-ba-bum. Oh wait, I think I need to be there. Shit.
and
think
there's
I'm
a
just
small matter of the
that
ground
idea.
is about 60
Why don't
feet
you
beneath
do Shatter?
you.
Don't you have Shatter too, Steve?
I do have Shatter.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll do Shatter
rock it.
instead.
She wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
Well, that one's cool because I can rain everybody prone, which is fun.
It would be.
And that was my thought of the day. But well, forget it. I'm not.
You'll get everybody prone later.
I'm still
Yeah.
learning my spells. Okie dokie. Then I'll use Shatter. As
So
well.
use boring old Shatter.
Hey.
Okay. So they need to beat your spell save DC, which I believe is 12.
Wait. I changed my mind again.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
We're
I'm
all
doing Thunderwave.
anxious to know
Sorry,
what's
this is
going to
my
happen.
This is my last change. I'm doing Thunderwave.
Cool. I love it.
Okay,
Thunderwave.
So that's
Yeah,
it.
Thunderwave's a good call, but you need to be touching them, don't you? It comes from you.
Yeah, you're right. I should run in there. Okay, I'm gonna do Shatter. God
I'll get my bat to use Thunderwave on my turn.
It's something like Thunderwave, like if you were touching Sailor number 2, would it like travel through?
It's like a
Through
50
everybody.
radius.
Entirely possible.
Anyways.
All right.
okay. Shatter it is.
Shatter it is. You can roll your dice,
I'm gonna do the same
and
spot here.
yeah, understood. I'm going to roll for the Goblin first. He's going to get +2 to this roll. He needs basically a 10 or better. He gets it, so he's going to take half damage. So why don't you roll your damage first?
Okay. That's
Maybe some of these creatures will survive to their turn. We'll see. Ooh, 11 points. He's barely alive. He takes some serious damage. And then the orcs get to roll. There are 2 of them that are going to get to roll. They're going to get to add 5 to this roll. One, oh, they both make it. Nope. One makes it, one doesn't. So we'll say they take 11 and 5. So does that mean they die? They're both still alive.
Mm.
Not as
And
successful.
5.
But that was good. You weakened them.
Yep. Taking damage. And then the Hobgoblin's going to roll, and he adds 4 to this. And he gets 10. He does not make his save, so he takes 11 points of damage. He is still alive.
He's tough.
He's tough. Okay, so that was Glon. Did you want to move anywhere? Or did you move anywhere and I didn't see it?
I did not move.
Are you going to stay there on the old ballista?
Yeah, I'll stay here for now. Or I'll go next to Nima, so if anybody throws something, it's me instead of her.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Well, you're weak. so-
I am a big weakness.
Well, you go next to
backhanded
Norman on
compliment right
14.
there.
It was,
Jeez.
it was quite cruel. Remember, I have portent.
Yeah, she's dangerous that
Sorry,
way.
I don't want to tear Garrett up here.
What?
All right, Al, we're at 14. Norman's go. And you're on mute, my friend.
Oh, because you can't handle what I'm about to say.
That's so true.
Yeah, let's do it. Radiant Bolt to Hobgoblin.
You'll be doing that at disadvantage based on where they are. Like, he's still got sort of some half cover from the boat. He's inside the boat, but you can still do it. It just means you
Okay.
roll
Goes
both
to the
dice
side
and
of the
take the
boat.
lower.
What if he just goes and walks closer to the side of the boat?
No, but you're saying he's not.
Yeah, he's
Is he not
inside
visible?
his
He's not
boat.
right on the deck. Okay.
No, the boat itself is it's like a
I just
It's
I
like a
thought
bowl.
Radiant Bolt came
Yeah.
from the sky, like from straight down.
comes from your hand, my friend.
Oh, I thought I thought I summoned it and it came from the sky.
Yeah.
All right, my bad.
Yeah, you shoot the bolts out of your hand.
Well, okay, if that's the case, then so I don't have a clear shot at any of these ding dongs.
Right now, no. You'd have to either be up on the edge, kind of where Jojandron is, or in their boat.
Okay. Then if I move here, does that give me a clear shot at Hobgoblin? Radiant Bolt.
Yes.
Either way, I'm
Yes.
doing it. Whether it's at.
You can do it from there.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
God damn it.
I'm afraid the curse of the Connors is with us. That is a miss.
Sweet. Well, then I'm just gonna wait and watch.
Your mouse is broken. Your mouse must be broken.
That must be it.
Well, who's next?
I think it's
Carius is going to spend his turn getting on the ballista and waiting to see if anything happens. Shanks is manning the helm, so he's taken care of. Nimmerlian goes next on 13.
lovely. I would like to send my bat to touch or to go close to Orc 1, and then through my bat, I'm going to use Burning Hands.
Ooh.
You do that?
I'm allowed to use my Find Familiar and send spells as if it were from me through them. That's what it says on the D&D 5th edition website.
That sounds legit then. All right, so the bat flamethrower. I guess we better make a
It
token
says,
for real.
when you cast a spell with the range of touch, your familiar can deliver the spell as if it had cast the spell. Your familiar must be within 100 feet of you, and it must use its reaction to deliver the spell when you cast it. And then I still would use my attack modifier as normal.
Sorry, you said it can deliver touch based.
Range of touch. When you cast a spell with the range of touch, and that's what Burning Hands is. I believe
Burning
it needs
Hands?
to be touched one.
I think it's got a range to it.
It does. I thought
Yeah, it's a 15-foot cone for.
Oh,
burning
then pardon
hands.
me. Then I'll use. Wait.
It's from you, but it blasts out in a range, so its range is not touched. The
Oh.
particular spell it cannot do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you for messing up your plans. I understand.
Yeah, thank you for completely destroying what I had planned. And I was sitting here like, I know exactly what I want to do, and guess what? It's all gone.
Well, that was the same for poor Glonda. So come on.
Yeah, legit.
Okay.
The thunderous form sweeping. All of this is boring. Okay, I'll magic missile it.
Okay. Well, I did just make you a bat token, so you can move that around wherever you want it to be.
Thanks.
So
Nice.
magic missile. Who you magic missiling?
I'm gonna magic missile. We don't actually really know the health of these orcs. We know that orc number 4 has not been hit once, correct? Whereas
That
orc
is the case.
2 and 3 have been
Well-
smacked, and so is Goblin 2. I'd like to hit Goblin 2 because they have a ranged weapon, and I want to
They
knock
do.
them out.
Okay. So you.
How many? I can do how many?
I believe you can do 3 magic missiles.
3. A dart deals 1d4 plus 1. Okay, I'll do 2 on that one just to make sure it's dead. And then I'll do 1 on the orc number 2. Because that one, he's not doing too hot either.
Okay. So,
Roll some d4s or...
yeah, well, the goblin dies. He had 1 hit
Great.
point, so your 2 missiles definitely kill him. And which orc are we talking about?
Orc number 5, pardon me. That one
Orc
I
number
know
5.
He's been hit a couple times, or maybe just once, actually.
Okay, so you're going to need to roll a die 4.
So that's
Okay.
4 points of death.
4 points. Done. He grunts with pain, but is still in the fight. So
Sure.
now, the bad guys get to actually do things. So goblins are all dead except for Goblin 4, who goes up here and he takes a shot at Norman with his short bow. What's your armor class, Norman? You're muted.
The old spacebar and mute wasn't working.
The old
I've got
spacebar.
deflect missiles, so I say bring on those projectiles.
All
What's
right.
it called?
Wait.
Deflect missiles. If I can, if I roll well, catch a projectile and throw it back.
Also, Andrew, my bet is supposed to have its own initiative. but
Boy, I
we'll,
made a
we'll do
mistake.
the missiles first.
Okay. So what is your armor class again, Norman? Because maybe he wasn't even hit you.
15.
15. He gets +4 on this for a total of natural 20.
Wow.
Ooh.
So this may mess with you a little bit because I get to double this damage.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but
Okay.
if you get a natural fail,
Mhm.
nothing happens.
So it's 2d6 plus 4 is the total. So it's not horrible, but it's going to be, ouch, 14 points of damage.
Gross.
Ouch.
But you can use your deflect missile ability.
I would
Fine.
like to very much to use my deflect missile ability.
All right, so you're using your reaction. You can reduce the damage you take by a die 10 plus your dex plus your monk level. So that's total of
Plus 4 plus
2.
4, 18.
Yeah. So it's die 10 though, so it's minimum of 9 and maximum of 18.
Here we go. Public. Roll a 4.
Nice.
Plus 4 plus 4 is 12.
So 12 points. So I did 10, 14. So you do take 2 points of damage because he
okay.
seemed to hit
Jeez,
you
that's
pretty
good.
darn good.
Yeah, but I don't get to fire back because
Is
I
that
think I have
true?
to reduce it to 0 to catch.
Yes,
what
that-
got thrown at me.
That was almost very cool. But you did reduce the damage from 16 to 2 or whatever, or 14 to 2. So that was pretty decent.
Worth it.
Yeah, totally. So he is a little bit surprised that you didn't grunt with agony based on that marvelous hit he just delivered to you.
I caught it, but it still like caught my shoulder. It's like a little too.
Okay, so the orc's turn. They are going to move in and attack. So this guy is going to move here. This guy is going to move here. This guy's going to move. Oh, that guy's dead. He can't move anywhere. This guy's going to move there, and the other guy's going to stay.
Disposable sailors.
Our
Yeah, how
wall of
did he get
Axl
through the wall?
Roses.
Hobgoblin's
How did
going
he
to go
get
up here
through
and
the
attack.
wall?
He
Didn't they
climbed
get-
over.
The sailors get. He doesn't. They don't get an attack when he moves through them. Oh no, because he didn't break contact with them.
He did break contact with 3, though. You're right to say Orc 1 broke contact with number 3,
Okay.
and technically he broke contact with Turgar. So you would get to use your reaction. We'll have the sailor do his roll first. Is it any good?
Yeah.
It is remarkably good. So he whacks him with a belaying pin and does a grand total of 3 points damage. Actually, that is totally enough to kill him.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that guy tries to do something really remarkable, and as he goes by, then falls over. Well, that was dramatic.
What are you gonna
Okay.
hit? The captain's statue, whittled statue.
No, you hit him with a pin, a belaying pin. Very nautical term. But orc number 2 is going to take a swing. Fresh orc number 2 is going to take a swing at Turgar. What's your armor class, Turgar?
My armor class is I thought I had saved it. I believe it's 15. It is 15.
Okay, so he
Which
is
guy
going.
is it? Sorry, where is he? I don't see him.
Orc number 2 to your southwest.
I don't see him. I just see a bunch of the sailor guys.
You might have to refresh your screen.
Oh.
Okay, so
Let me just see what he is. Yeah.
he's attacking you at +5, so he needs 10 or better. Let's see what happens here. He's gonna get 15, so he does manage to hit you. And you're
I
wearing
still
the
don't
leather
see
armor.
him. This is number 5.
Number 2.
I don't see him either.
I
Yeah.
also don't see him.
I see the dead guy, Orc 1. So is he
What
right
if
next to me?
He's to your southwest there. He's in
'Cause
between
I'm in
sailors
front
2
of-
and 3. Oh, are you?
Oh,
I see.
Sailor 4,
You know what?
Sailor
Sailor
4
4 is on top. He's holding a spot that Sailor 4 holds.
Oh, you
He
moved
needs to
4 and
move up.
I don't have it. Okay, it's my bad. I didn't have it there.
There he
So,
is.
all right. Let's go with
He
this.
was
Let's
he
say
was
Sailor
wearing
4.
Sailor 4's skin as a mask.
It's Sailor
so what's
4's
happening?
been. All right, he's gonna take us. Well, he could take his pick of any of the sailors, but he's gonna attack Turgar because Turgar is looking very interesting. He did hit you. He does a grand total of die 12 plus 3 with his big ass axe. Die 12, boom, plus 3 on this is a total of 7 points of damage, sir.
Holy shit!
Yes,
Did I get to dodge or something?
that's what your armor class is, friend.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, orcs 5 and 3 are attacking those sailors. They're gonna get. That's a miss and a hit, respectively. No, not that. Do this. Sailor number 1 takes a 13 points of damage and does not survive it, unfortunately.
Ooh, live and let die.
Doof. And finally, the hobgoblin is going to attack Jojondron. Jojondron, what is your armor class, sir?
16.
16. He's attacking at plus. He gets 2 attacks. That's dangerous. These are at +4. So he gets not enough and enough. So he hits you with one of those. And you are about to take a little damage. He does 2d6 plus 2 of slashing damage. Now, because you're wearing your chainmail,
I believe so, yeah.
yeah. So you take half of this damage because it has some resistance to slashing. You take 11 halved is 5 points of damage.
Not bad.
Not bad. And that, my friends, is their turn. It is now Jojondron's turn.
I would like to roll initiative for my bat, please. Maybe
Oh
that
yes,
can
I'm
be
terribly
played.
sorry. Roll your initiative for your bat.
Thank you.
Your
She
bat's a
actually
valuable
can
member
do
of
a
the
lot.
team.
She is. She can do so much. She can send potions to people and help people if needed. She's a good girl. And she's knowledgeable.
Hey.
She's
Oh.
the late arrival to the party, unfortunately.
She is. She is.
Here's
So
I'm
does
not
that mean
last
that she
anymore.
now gets to go since she didn't get to
She-
do the last round?
Well, she'll
haven't finished
go
the
at the
first
end
round
of the round. Yeah,
Oh,
we
we
still
haven't
got
finished yet.
Jojondron
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And me.
Here we go.
and Turgar at the very end. It'll be a fight to see who
Beautiful.
goes last.
Should we take a break,
Probably the bat will go
okay.
last.
Should we take a break after this round, or I can pause now before my roll if you want to take a bio break?
I think everybody wants to see you roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially the cat.
Well, I'm going to attack the hobgoblin right back.
Okay.
With what?
With my great sword.
I thought you were going to say your blowgun.
Well, he's close enough within range, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
What's your total, sir? Did you beat a 17?
+5. So no.
No. You cut through the air, and your blade bounces off of his very resilient half-plate armor. Then leading us to sailor number 1. All the sailors are there. They're going to attack with their pithy weapons.
Sailor 1's dead.
Sailor 1 is dead.
Yes.
Oh.
And Sailor 5 is the only one who manages to score a hit on the Hobgoblin, believe it or not. Will he succeed where Jojandron failed? He does 4 points of damage, and that Hobgoblin's looking in pretty bad shape, but seems to be motivated to continue the fight.
Imagine if Sailor 1 was the hero.
Yeah. Tirgar goes next at 4.
Ooh, okay, so I'm wielding my double-fisted weapons now.
You are.
So I am... How does this work again? So I'm attacking with my shillelagh.
Yep.
I'm going to be attacking Orc 2 with shillelagh. So that means that I am... so I'm doing... Well, I'm rolling a die 20 first, right? Just to see if I hit him.
That's right.
Okay, I am rusty.
Has been like 4 weeks.
There we go.
There he is.
Wham.
Double
That's
damage.
a natural 20 critical hit.
So now I'm hitting him with 1 die 8 plus 5.
And we'll be doubling this.
So I'm not even going to get to use my flame. So that's 11. So 22 points of damage.
That is a very dead orc right there.
Right, so that does that mean that I don't get to use my flame blade?
Your bonus action? I believe... I know you have to make an attack action to do the bonus action of an offhand attack.
Yeah, but I can't because I'm going to use... I can move at this point, right?
Well, you could, and then that would technically allow you to get into orc number 5
and
zone.
then use a bonus action.
You know what? For the sake of
Right
speeding this
here.
up, and you
Yeah.
could get on to poor Sailor 1, his last
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, and then I'm going to take Hobgoblin with my bonus action of the flame blade.
You launched Sailor One's body into
You did.
So with flame blade, I'm rolling. So this is the first time I use this. So I'm using a 3 dice. Oh no, I guess I have to roll again.
You have to roll to attack on that one too.
And then
Yes.
3 dice 6. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
That looks like it'll hit for
There you
sure.
And then 3.
He's
dice
on fire.
6.
'Cause of
Sure,
flame.
Nim, you don't want to tamp one
So
of these
7,
down?
8 points of damage.
What? Which orc are you attacking?
Sorry, that was a hobgoblin.
Oh, that was a hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Poor hobgoblin is an ex-hobgoblin.
Yay!
Would you like to describe how you dispatch this hobgoblin with
My
the
fire
flame?
blade goes up in, like, I jam it right up like under his chin, and you can actually see his eyeballs start to smoke and melt as he is extinguished by my flame.
Ooh, brilliant.
Nice.
Andrew in the chat mentions, Brooke, that the bat could deliver Shocking Grasp if you had that cantrip.
Yes, I noticed Shocking Grasp. Do I have that cantrip? Thank you, Andrew.
And it is now the bat's go.
Oh,
the bat.
delightful.
Time we've all been
Here
looking
we go.
for.
Oh, the little bat.
It's
Let's
my
go.
Come on.
turn.
Petrie.
Is its name
Does look like
Petrie?
Petrie.
Is that its name?
Sure, we'll go with Petrie.
Oh,
Isn't that the
little-
bat from
Land
Well,
Before
it's a
Time.
pteranodon, but yes.
or-
It was not a bat.
It
It wasn't a bat. It was a dinosaur.
No,
Yeah.
wait. I'm thinking of
He
the
was a
bat Robin
pterosaur.
Williams voiced
You thinking?
in
Oh, Fern Gully.
Fern Gully.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm just looking to see if I have shocking grass. And my Google sheet is currently frozen.
Oh, let me. You do have shocking grasp.
Oh, thank you. Now,
have-
as I understand, great. Now, it can't. Basically, what it could do is go fly to the place where I would like to do it, but then I think I have to actually deliver it on mine, and it's their reaction that will deliver it. Otherwise,
That's right.
correct?
I believe that is how that works. So that does make them vulnerable if you put them into the. Like it's there to be attacked if it's gonna.
And I have to make it clear that if she dies, it's okay. It only costs me another 10 gold pieces, and she'll just reappear. Like, it's not a new bat, it's her again. I have to remind everyone that she's gonna die, but it's okay. She just poofs, and then she comes back for 10 gold pieces in a bit of time. So, I'd like her to go over to Goblin number 4, who has a bow, and if she's right up near him, he can't really shoot her very well. So she's going to go fly over to Goblin number 4 and wait for me to potentially do Shocking Grasp to it on my turn.
That is as far as the bat can go in this turn.
She has speedy flight, though, doesn't she? Are you
She's a
sure?
tiny little bat. She flies at 30
I
feet.
thought she
So
had a... Was it only 30? I thought she had more than that. Is it really 30?
I just looked it up.
You Googled it. Mm.
I did.
Well then, darn, because I'm scared of those orcs, but let's do it anyway. Let's put her behind Orc 3.
So I guess
All right.
ideally the bat would have its turn immediately before you, Nick. Is that how that would work?
Well, it's technically what's happening. Just my
Right.
turn will be soon.
It's just
but-
not immediately before. And in this
You know
case,
what? Never mind. I'll just go with her. Let's keep her near me, and she'll use her help action, and that'll give me advantage on my next roll if it's my turn. That's what I'd like her. What? It says that you're allowed to do that. Why?
you totally can. But if she was going to help, she'd have to be next to the person you're attacking.
Not next to me helping me do my thing?
I would like you to describe to me how the bat is helping you to do the thing that you're going to do.
Poor Jordan needs to take a bio break, and this is...
All right. Well, that's okay because I'm actually going to cut to the chase in the end of this scene. The scene is we've had exactly about 10 seconds pass, and the majority of these poor bastards have all been cut down or shattered into a million bits. They realize that they have bitten off way more than they can chew and jump overboard in an attempt to flee the scene, thus getting us out of the combat scene. You can certainly rain down arrows upon them if you wish to, show no
Yeah.
mercy. But
Those
for
crossbow
the
things. Come
ballista
on,
target
First
practice.
Officer Curious, use your bloody thing.
He proudly puts a ballista bolt through the head of a fleeing goblin or orc. Can't even tell at this distance. And does that thing where
Let him go. Let him go.
they dared
Tell their
to attack
friends.
us. All right, we're gonna take a bio break and be right back so Jordan can do something that we don't need to hear about, I'm sure.
I'm
Just
gonna
gonna refill
go.
my water.
I don't care who knows it. I'm going to open another bottle of wine.
All right.
All
All right.
guys.
Back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I think we're clear.
kids unmasked in our home, and we're like, no, because we can't take that.
And we're back. Everyone is rehydrated and everything. So, yeah, you are in your boat. You've got another boat grappled to you or bouncing off of yours, and
So that
from
boat
where
is still with us. Oh,
It
those
is.
guys jumped into the water. They jumped into
They
the
did.
water.
Well, shall
Okay.
we explore it? See, there perhaps might be people who've been kept captive underneath.
Ah, yes, I think we should explore it.
I'll search the corpses.
Joe John Duran should go first.
Okay,
Actually, I could send my bat.
you could. Either way, you find no survivors on board this boat. In fact, the boat is a scene of a pretty big grossness. There's a lot of bodies on this boat in various states of dismemberment. Blood adorns the decks. Cargo has been ransacked. And in fact, the bodies of the hobgoblins and so the goblins and the hobgoblin and the orcs appear to be a bit emaciated, like perhaps they have eaten these hapless former crew and eaten their cargo. So you surmise that maybe the attack on the boat was one of desperation. So, but you do find some small amount of coinage left over in various bits and bobs of stuff laid on. You find in various bits of change a total of 70 gold pieces worth of money.
Is there any like secret document written in extremely small font?
In fact, there is.
Oh, I'd like to use my magnifying glass to read it.
It says, "Do not read."
Ah,
No.
Okay.
Mission
Any
accomplished.
markings on the hobgoblin denoting perhaps a I don't know if to
Like
step
an
out of the game
allegiance
for a
to
second.
something?
Yeah. And stepping out of the game for like out of character for a second. I don't know how much I'm allowed to know about hobgoblins and orcs and goblins and that type of thing as Terragar versus what I know.
As a druid, this is kind of in your wheelhouse.
Okay.
So they are tribal. The hobgoblin's definitely the most intelligent among these creatures, which is why it had probably commanded them, and he was also the beefiest in terms of his physique and stuff he carried, so he probably bossed them around pretty well too. But you're not familiar with this area of the world. Like, you've never been this far south, so as for what particular tribe he was a part of or what band he was representing, you're not. And he has no flag or banner that would mark him either. He's maybe trying to make a name for himself, a name that will now never come. He is, however, wearing a pretty finely maintained set of half plate. So it is a type of chainmail with plates on it. He's also carrying a pretty dinged up great sword, as well as a javelin. All of the orcs were wielding great axes and javelins. They never end up using the javelins. The goblins are carrying pretty shitty short bows and short swords and a collection of shitty arrows.
I request that we do not take the great sword and instead cast it into the waters below us.
Does my brother want those javelins?
I'll take any javelins I can get. How many did you say?
Between all of them, you would get 4, 8, 9 javelins.
Well, all right. I only have one right now.
How much do they weigh?
I think they weigh not too much.
He can carry quite a bit.
Oh, he can carry a lot. That's right. Otherwise, I do
weigh-
have a bag
actually-
of holding, Jojo, and you can place as many as you'd like in it.
They weigh 2 pounds each. So yeah, they do add
15
up.
pounds.
20
Pretty
with the
light
existing one.
javelin.
Well, it's a light, not super big thing.
Nim takes the great sword and tosses it overboard.
It lands in the water with a big sploosh.
Great.
Was it a better greatsword than I had?
No. But you
Yes,
never really
may
get
I
a
see
chance
your
to know.
great sword, Jojo? May I have a look at that real quick?
Whoa, damn.
Put a sword envy.
So I have a question for you. Where this boat, it seemed to be originating from where we're heading, correct?
The vague direction they're from, yep.
So I'm a bit worried that perhaps we're not heading to a safe port right now. What does old Captain Shanks think about that?
Yeah,
Says,
what is
well,
your
s-
situation?
Split Rock is a smaller town. It doesn't have quite the guard that Salt Marsh has or Seaton, but they could maybe defend themselves. We'd know pretty quickly if things were ill, and if they were, we could move on to Seaton.
Right.
Could sail a bit more into the night to make it there.
Okay.
We'll
Is that
take
what
the
we wanna
boat.
do then, gang?
We'll take the boat as salvage.
Yes.
And we should properly bury all of these individuals.
at sea by throwing them overboard.
Yes,
Yeah,
Captain
just give him
Shanks.
the
However,
old
Captain Shanks thinks it is
sailors.
appropriate. That's right.
Okay.
Captain
He agrees
Shanks,
that-
thank you for your men's service and for laying down their lives in the protection of us and your boat. They were
He says
honorable
it-
men.
Oh,
If not for you, we may not have survived this day. These creatures clearly did not know who they were messing with. So you proceed pace. He suggests that Glonda should captain the. Oh, yeah.
I'll take the 70 gold coins. Just know that I have groups 70 coins. Continue.
Okay. He suggests that Glonda should captain the Blue Maiden, being as she's the only one with any sailory experience, but that you could maybe learn a thing or two from her on board this ship. You know, after you give it a good cleaning out.
Can do.
Blonde on the little ship.
Smells terrible.
She'll need a couple of hands to man it.
I will not.
I will go over with her on the little ship.
Don't call it the little ship. Call it the ship of opportunity.
Call it the friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to follow that up. So, yeah, it doesn't take many of you to crew the ship, but between all of you, you're able to maneuver the two vessels towards Split Rock, and indeed, as you get there, you're hailed by the City Watch, who basically tell you, when you ask, that they haven't seen any trouble, so they can't really advise where that boat might have come from. But there have been reports of it being missing for some time, so they clearly got into some trouble.
Okay.
But
and we're talking the City Watch here, I guess.
Yep.
Do we know where that boat, where it was last, like its last location where the crew was intact, and maybe where it was heading to?
You find among the ship's stores, you do manage to find the ship's log. It hugs the coast. It doesn't go very far afield, and let me just jump back to the scene so I know where the heck we are. Well, let's just make it easy. We'll say that it's based at a Split Rock, so they're surprised to see it again without her crew. And the word was that it did a run down to one of the ports in the Flotsam Islands. Flotsam Islands. And if I can just get the right map, I can tell you exactly where it went.
Right here. Flotsam.
Are we? Has the map changed?
No, I am changing it, but I will change it to this one actually.
Okay.
Scenes, Southern Keeland. We're all on the same map now. They went to Baymouth. They were delivering some things in Baymouth.
Okay. So can you? I'm not in the right place. This is a huge map, eh?
It's
Yeah.
pretty big, but I'll ping it where Baymouth is. But you can also use that good old search function,
Oh yeah. How's Baymouth spelled?
just like it sounds.
The way it sounds.
Yeah.
So B-E,
No.
Baymouth that way. I don't know why I thought it was that way. But
BE, that's
Baymouth.
ridiculous.
There it is. Okay, yeah, you're right. That's pretty cool.
B-E-Y.
That's good. So it left Split Rock and headed to Baymouth, and some bad shit happened either there or in between.
Yeah,
Yes.
we happened.
All right. So are we settling into an inn?
Yeah,
Split
let's
Rock?
stay here the
Or
night.
are we staying on the ship overnight? What are we doing?
They do have facilities you can stay on board the ship, but you guys aren't as comfortable as the sailors are on board. So when you get a chance to go on board the ship or go on land and spend some time at a tavern, you generally take it. And Split Rock does have accommodations for that. So if you want, you certainly can.
Okay. Sure, let's do that. Is there a tavern that we could head to?
Tavern.
There absolutely is the green
Should we
hook.
ask Captain Shank? Okay, and that's Captain Shank's recommendation.
It's the only one in town, so yeah, absolutely.
Does Captain Shanks want to join us?
He'll gladly join you.
Perfect.
He'll even
And
buy
for
you
a
around for your
sleepover or
valuable
just for a
service.
drink?
He just join you for drinks.
I'll take the
Why don't we
honeymoon
let's
suite,
invite him for a
please.
sleepover too.
Should we invite the crew too? Maybe they may have to leave a couple guys behind, but we want to pay them back for their service.
Yes, we'd like to buy a beer for the sailors that survived.
And they can sleep over.
Well, Nicholas and his henchmen will guard the ship in thanks for not being there to defend it when you were attacked, and the sailors
Awesome.
gladly jump at the chance for a night on
they-
shore.
Would they
Or a
give
big
us any
crew.
of their gunpowder as a thank you as well? Maybe they could give us a little bit. No, all right,
He-
all right.
We've already
Nicholas looks askance that maybe the secrecy's been broken. He looks directly at Norman with a glance of, "Did you tell her?"
I didn't tell anybody. God damn it.
I'm brilliant.
I don't know what any of you are talking about.
We're talking about a different kind of secret powder.
Yeah. Norman never
Unrelated.
told us anything. I don't know. Nimmerillion is off doing lots of weird stuff right now, did
It's
Nicholas?
got spices. It's a lot of spices.
I do love a spicy meal. I like dal.
There you go. We're talking about doll.
So you enjoy a lovely evening of pounded fish and the local ale, which is fairly unremarkable, but with the gusto that comes after having a fight that you won and survived. Many drinks are raised to Sailor Number 1. His name is actually Juan, and he'll be missed. He'll be missed by Tu and Trey and Katros. They're all good buds. They liked each other sequentially. And in the morning, you awaken with renewed spirit and begin your resume your voyage around the coast, passing by Red Shore and pulling into Salt Marsh without any further incident. And
I
hey,
will roll my
what?
portents.
You should roll your portents. Long rest. You regain your hit points.
We had a long rest then, right? So we're fully
Yep.
charged back up. Okay.
You are fully charged
Did
back
we,
up. You can regain
Did
hit
we leave a
points.
review?
What kind of review would you leave, Joe John Durham?
Yeah. Was it a good spot? We were happy with the service.
I thought
Yeah,
the
it was-
washrooms left a little bit to be desired.
You mean the latrine?
washrooms, we just-
Yes.
Beautiful
Oh,
map.
oh.
Look at this. Wow. This is gorgeous.
This is a pretty solid map. They invested a lot in Salt
I'm
Marsh.
stepping out of character here again.
Oh, wow.
This is phenomenal artwork. I love
This
this.
looks like Martin Hanford.
I like this guy's style, the guy who wrote this, yeah.
Cool.
So, I am going to, as you approach, Glonda becomes very chatty about her time in Salt Marsh, and she can remember a few places of interest, like the shipyard and the Drunken Urchin. It's a newer bar, but it's a good one. No, sorry, the Hoof and Mouth is the newer one. The Drunken Urchin has been there for a long time, but this new place was just starting out when she was leaving, called the Hoof and Mouth. Then there was also the Mariners Guild Hall, where sailors go to. It's a liaison point where sailors go to get new contracts. The town hall is just up the way. Hey, why don't I make this so everybody can see it? Go to notes.
What did you do?
I did it for the people watching the stream. They can see that.
Okay,
the
so
map.
I've got the Hoof and Mouth, the Mariners what?
Guild Hall. They're unhidden on the map now. If you scroll around, you'll see them.
Yeah.
Do I have to zoom in?
No,
I'm at
you
Zoom
shouldn't have to.
70, and it's pretty
No, I
good.
can see him.
You're zoomed what? 70%?
I'm zoomed 70. It's not. I don't know if it's a percentage or not, but yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
see
Glonda's
any
boat
names.
is around here somewhere.
Technically,
yeah, I do.
that's
Marinos
what
don't
she
fall
has been
after
led to
that.
believe was she would find her boat here. I mean, all she's got is that
But-
note to go on.
So I guess that Mariners Guild Hall would be the place to go.
Entirely possible. They might know something there. The boat that you are on, both boats actually, make fall at the shipyard. It's the only public docks, and they basically will let you land there and pay a small fee to moor your boat. So the ship that you've been on, the galleon, it lands there and does no problem. There is a small matter of what to do with the Blue Maiden now that it's without an owner. Captain Shanks says, well, I understand you're here to collect your own ship, so maybe you don't need this one. We could sell it as salvage and split the proceeds.
Perhaps we should hold on to it before we, to ensure that this boat, pardon me, ship, is actually present.
Well, the one thing you would notice is that the Wyvern is not tied up anywhere on these berths where it would normally be able to. So, Christine, Glonda does not see the Wyvern tied up here.
Yeah, so let's just say, Captain Shanks, we're going to wait just to make sure that Captain Glonda has her boat here. And
What did you call me?
Captain Glonda.
Captain G.
Stop! You're gonna make me spill my tea.
Is that all right with you, Captain
actually-
Shanks? My
He
friend.
says, I believe it is a fair share. You're welcome to her. I've got more than enough boat here. And with that, Nicholas has his guys start rolling the barrels very carefully out from storage and into the shipyard where they have prearranged to be stored. As you arrive in the shipyard, the owner of it comes out. And his name comes out to greet you, and he's actually somebody that Galando would recognize. It's a half orc. So orc who one of the parents is a person whose one of his parents is orc and one of his parents is human.
Freaky.
Yeah. So he is
Otherwise known as a hork.
a hork. He's a fellow named Molak.
Okay.
He's a gruff overseer, a hulking tattooed figure, but he's renowned for his fairness and honesty in trade. Glonda has heard the legend that he came to Saltmarsh as an orphan, adopted by the kindly old man who ran the shipyard, but when the man died, as many tried to wrest control of the business from Willak, he hung on to the keys and no one was able to get them from him. So, but he has come into his
How do
own
you
as
spell
the
that
owner.
name?
Molak. So he is the guy you see if you want to get a ship built or repaired. And you can see evidence in the shipyard of many such ships underway or being repaired. There are many ships also berthed here, including yours. So he comes up the plank and greets you, and he gives a gruff nod to Glonda. You might have had interactions with him in the past, but they would have been brief.
Olak.
What's
Give
that?
me
No, he doesn't do that. He gives you a nod. He's not that kind of guy.
Take the nod. How you been? How's business?
Business is good. What
Good.
brings you here to Saltmarsh? I thought you left after your tabs caught up with you.
I wasn't that. I left for a friend's wedding.
Hi,
Oh.
I didn't end up getting married. It was ruined.
We're not gonna talk about it.
That was kind of my fault.
Anyhow, we're kind of. I got a letter from Captain Fascatan. I'm wondering if maybe you've heard from him lately, or seen him, or maybe seen the ship, the Wyvern, something.
Shadow
Went to our
goes
lane
over.
afterwards.
Shadow.
It was a long story with snakes, and they had a wine issue.
Joe John, I'm about
Joe
to
John,
get
Joe
through
John,
that.
he doesn't care.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
On hearing Fascatan's name, a shadow rolls over his face as he says, "Poor Fascatan. He went very quickly. It was very sad. I like him.
What? What happened?
He came down with a sickness. That is all I know.
When?
This must be months ago now.
But I only just got a letter.
Maybe it was weeks ago. Maybe that makes more sense to plotline.
Okay.
Yes, that sounds much more correct. Plotline says weeks ago, yes.
Who was the last person who was with him? Where can I, have you seen his ship?
His ship in the hands of that Jack. That his first mate taken continue on his voyage. Take contracts. But you may want to talk to a guy whose name I will find briefly here. I should have all this handy. I generally don't. Mariners Guild Hall 26. There it is.
First mate named Jack. That's no good. That's bad news.
Jack Terry Golly.
You talk to Diamar. He'll tell you. You recognize that name as the overseer at the Mariners Guild Hall.
At the hall?
So Daimar is not the first mate?
No. He's been identified as Jack. That is the first mate.
The Jack is I thought it was like Jack and Port. That's what you meant. Okay.
Okay.
So Daimar is the overseer at the Guild Hall.
Okay. Then I'll have to make my way to the guild hall. Well, I appreciate.
I have a question for you, Molak, before you go. What sickness took Captain Faskatan?
I don't know these things, but I know it was very fast.
Had he gone somewhere when he picked it up? Do you have an idea of maybe where he was when he got sick?
Hey, listen, I like the man. He always paid all on time when he came in for repair of his ship. But beyond this, I don't know his personal life.
Okay. And we'll have to go to the Mariners Guild Hall. Thank you.
For what it's worth, you have my sympathy. And he turns on his heel and goes back into the shipyard. Oh, and by the way, it stops and turns back and says, if you're going to keep that junk here, and he's referring to the Blue Maiden, that is 1 gold piece per week.
Nim opens up her bag and reaches her hand down in and feels around until she finds a gold coin and flicks it at him.
He catches it with surprising adroitness, and he says, "These good for 1 week." Oh, after he, puts it away.
Oh! I stole that from a corpse on a ship, you know. It's good for money.
To the
Okay.
guild hall.
To the guild hall. So you go over to the guild hall. The guild hall. It's a combination of things. It's a large building, kind of a part hostel, part inn, but it serves only sailors. So it provides a bunk and a meal for sailors passing through. Sea captains search of a crew stop here, as do others seeking news from afar. It's an excellent place to discuss seafaring, as well as various threats to navigation along the coast. And as you approach, you can see a man you recognize, Glanda recognizes, Diomar Lian. He has been the overseer of the guild for a number of years, and it's a hub of activity. You see various merchants nearby in conversation. Diomar is in conversation with 2 of them right now. Generally, he's the guy you go to when you want to pair up a cargo with a crew, and that's clearly what's happening right now.
I'll stand behind one of the people he's talking to and kind of just try and get his attention.
Okay, it's a minute or two. He's engaged in conversation. One of the apprentices, though, comes over. You vaguely recognize this guy, but you didn't know everybody at the time.
Hey.
He looks at you as you can tell that you're trying to get Diomar's attention, so he's going to come over and help you out. Says, "Yeah, I'm Jayan. What's your name?"
Blonda?
I thought I recognized you.
Yeah.
You used to be on the Wyvern, right?
That's right.
Yeah. You're going to want to talk to Diomar, or more importantly, he's going to want to talk to you.
Yeah, so I hear.
He says, I'll get him for you. And he whispers a word into Diomar's ear, and He gives him a nod. Doesn't actually stop talking to the merchants, but there's shortly thereafter a handshake to both of them, and then he comes over to you and says, "Glonda Thrasm, again you darken our doors."
Diomar, it's nice to see you.
You as well. You're here about Faskatan, I can tell.
Yes, I heard from Malak, sorry, over at the shipyard.
Yes, well, it's a shame that business. I had a soft spot for Faskatan. We never had a ill word between us. But
What
he
happened?
came down with a sudden illness a few weeks ago. And I prefer to deal with him than that bastard Jack Terragali. So much so that we no longer trade words. I don't know where he gets his work now. But anyway, that's not what you're here about. I can't really tell you much about what happened, but you should talk to, oh God, Anders Solomon. I think he engaged him as a lawyer to draw up a will when he was at his end.
Was Jack with him at all at the end with this will writing and prior to him falling ill and anything like that?
Well, the ship didn't go anywhere well. He was in poor health. So
And
yes, Jack
took
was.
the ship?
Well, after he passed, he took the ship. Yes, the ship has
I
debts.
I have a note from Captain Faskatan that the ship is mine.
Well, I'm afraid that it isn't here right now. Otherwise, you could easily take title of it. And if it's true, then Anders would have it in that will.
Well, then we'll have to go see Anders. Do you know where he is?
Well, at this time, he'll probably be over at his business, Whitecap Shipping. Which I'll just unhide. You've heard of It's just down the ways. You've heard of Whitecap Shipping. It's one of the magnates in the area. They arrange all sorts of cargoes. Actually, that's not true at all. That's not Whitecap Shipping. He's at the Sol. He is. Whitecap Shipping is indeed that, but that's not Anders' business. Anders runs his business out of his mansion, which is up in the good part of town, the west side. And
You ping that?
yeah,
And is he at Whitecap
I see it.
right now?
Yeah, I see it.
sorry, he's not. He doesn't own Whitecap Shipping. That's someone
okay,
else.
he's at
Yeah.
Solmar Mansion.
You know who does own that's a guy named Flanagan Lorsk, who's not a nice guy.
Sorry,
But he says-
so Solmar.
Says Anders is a councilman. He might be at the town hall right now. That's probably why he engaged him as a lawyer, because of his notoriety.
Okay. Looks
Sorry,
like we'll have to-
Anders' last name is Solomon,
Solomon.
right?
That's right.
And Solmore is someone different. Or am I-
There is.
It's the same person. I'm just looking at the name differently.
Yeah, it could be Solmore. Oh, it
Well,
should
the
be
mansion that you
Solomon.
just pinged.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry.
it's this is the guy who wrote up the will. It's his place. No, don't say
Look at that.
sorry.
No,
Getting
it
the
says Solomon.
pronunciation.
No, it's all good. Yes. So, we'll cut to the chase.
Just wanted to make sure there was someone else.
You track him down at the town hall, and after some introductions, he says, "Yes, indeed, he passed a few weeks ago. I saw him near the end and took his will, and I'm happy to give you that will and any of his last possessions that are marked for you. I'm sorry for your loss. I can tell you that yes, the boat is legally yours. I told Jack that he shouldn't take it out while it was contested like this, but
Ooh.
there is a concern that you would not come, so it was agreed that while the boat has debts to maintain, that he should continue honoring contracts to pay for it. He will return here at some point. When he does, I'm sure he will honorably turn over the title to you. Let's go back to my house, and I will give you his last possessions."
Okay, thank you.
Are we all with her right now?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole gang.
Why not?
These are my merry men.
They're like ducklings.
sorry, and Elf.
And
So he takes you back up to his house. The town hall is a hub of activity right now, but he doesn't seem to be so busy that he can't serve this for you. So he runs Solmore. His name is Solmore. I'm sorry, Dan, you're absolutely right, not Solomon. So Solmr. But he runs Solmore Fish and Trade. He's done this makes idle conversation as he goes. So he's done it for about a year now, following the what he would call untimely death of his mother. Who ran it for many years before him. He also serves as a notary. He gladly makes up contracts for fishermen and sailors. And on Rardast's request, he visited him on his deathbed. He was dying of an ailment that the clerics of Pelor could not diagnose. It caused him to waste away until he was but a husk of a man. Anders created his will, and he left his money to the local temples, splitting it evenly among them. And his boat and remaining worldly possessions were deeded to Glonda Thrasm. So when you get back to his house, he hands over the chest. It's about the size of a loaf of bread. And he says, I'll leave it to you. But this is all that he had left for you. Inside, it's very easily opened. Inside is a set of formal clothes, a remarkable conch shell that's wrapped in linen. There's a small locket with a carving of a woman's face in profile. And it takes no time at all for Glonda to figure out that there's a false bottom because the interior space is not as big as it should be. So when you find a way to open it, and inside there's a tattered map and a letter. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm gonna close the chest and say thank you so much. And I'm going to exit the
And if I
building.
can do this, there we go. Oh,
And then once outside, with my band of merry men in the Bat Bhima, I'm gonna read this letter.
And
Nice.
I'm just gonna whisper in Glonda's ear, "You can use my magnifying glass if you want to."
Thank you so much.
100 gold coins. 100.
I'm gonna email you this letter because that seems to be the only way I'm gonna be able to get this to you. I know.
I'm actually getting a letter. An
You're
email?
getting an actual letter. But is there anything else you want to do before we wrap up tonight's session? Because we're almost in 9:30.
Did anybody, I will quickly say, because this is relevant, did anybody watch the Inside comedy special by Bo Burnham? There's just a really great bit where he's like, why is it that pirate maps are always tattered? Why are they not laminated? Why do you want me to go around the world and have a tattered map? So I just thought that was relevant.
He says, like, why are the edges always burnt and why is the paper tea stained?
Why are you not laminating your
Take
map?
better care of the map. Yeah.
Because the props department's got to earn their keep. Damn it, they have to go to school for this sort of thing.
Should I read this letter to everybody?
Yeah.
If you wish.
Let's do it. Good way to end it.
Glonda, if you are reading this, then the money I paid to those charlatans at Pelor's house came to no good end. I never could keep my mouth shut when it came to speaking ill of the gods, though, so maybe the donations I made to each of their houses will give me some credit when I reach the final shore. Aww. Lass, you'll be confused why I gave you this ship. To tell true, you were the only one ever aboard the Wyvern who... How do you pronounce it? Wyvern? Wyvern?
Wyvern.
Wyvern.
That's how he pronounced it.
Okay. You were the only one who ever aboard the Wyvern who had a true love to be there, chasing those waves. So it seems only fair that I give her to someone who could actually use her well. I will be damned to 9 hells if she ever falls into the hands of Jack Tergali, that blackguard. I cannot prove it, but certain I am that he is not the cause of my ill. That he is the cause of my ills, and that greed is the cause of his. The map you find with this letter, I bought from a fellow sailor down on his luck. convinced convinced was that I am so sorry, my eyes are so tired right now. Convinced he was that it was a genuine treasure map, and while I hold no fancy for such ventures, I did the man a favor by buying it from him and easing his way. My mistake was that Jack saw this, and I knew from the glint in his eyes that this would lead to no good. But I'll have the last laugh. If I know Jack, he'll be scouring the islands for treasure he'll never find. I made a fake, and I made sure he'd find it stashed away in the Wyvern. The real thing may also be a fake, but I'll leave that to you to discover. Soon I'll have another port to call on. The Wyvern's a good ship with a good crew and pure hearts. She will see you through any foul weather. Rargath.
We gotta get Jack.
So now we gotta figure out if we wait here for Jack to get back or get on that little dinghy boat and
Catch that Jack hole.
catch that Jack.
Is there like a nice hotel we can stay here for the next little while?
or a resort.
Yeah, a resort.
There
Hot
are a number of
springs.
such places.
Yeah, let's wait it out.
Well, how about
Some more
When is Jack?
adventurous.
When is Jack scheduled to return? Is he scheduled to return? Do we know this?
Well, all you know is that Diomar at the Mariners Guild Hall is not in charge of is not giving him any contracts. So if he's doing cargo runs, he's doing them for somebody else. So he has no idea of Jack's movements.
And do we know which direction he headed when he left port?
We can ask
Nope.
Malak. But I might say if he's taking contracts from other people, then maybe we go around town next session and see if anybody's given him any work.
Yeah, make some allies.
Well, but though we also now know that the councilman thinks that he's going around doing contracts, or Diamar does, but our captain, or your captain, Glenda, just said he's probably out there trying to find the damn treasure. That's probably what he's doing.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew, is there any small writing on any of the stuff that Glenda got that I could uncover with my magnifying glass?
The locket actually has some very small writing on it.
Okay, I'd like to read that.
It says, "Don't read this."
Ah, I see.
It's called "Bring the Joke Back."
Andrew, just as one again, is there anyone in town that needs a magic stone thrown at them?
It's possible that
Jack's asking
Jojandron
for that,
was.
I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe Jojon.
So as my final action of the night, I'd like to throw lightly one of my magic stones at his shoulder, plated shoulder. He has plate on his shoulders.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt him. I just want to say, wake up.
That happens. Did Jojandron wake up?
John,
We're gonna have-
what do you do?
Is there
I hit you
any
with a magic
information-
stone.
Do I have any information on the fake map that Rargath wrote? Like what direction he's sending him in? Because if that's written down anywhere in the map that he gave me, that could
help us.
possibly be an indicator on direction. Or maybe we go complete opposite direction of what's on the actual map because he tried to throw him off. You know what I mean?
He does. That letter is all you got. So he just said that he made him a fake map. It doesn't say where the map is going, though. But your map, the one that you have, indicates an island to the south of the Flotsam Islands. So, not there would be your guess.
Okay. Okay.
And I will show you that map next session.
Hooray!
All right.
Well, this session went flawlessly, technically perfectly, I would say, almost. The chat appears to be about 10 to 15 minutes behind because Andrew's just said "good kitty," so that could mean anything.
That would be the cat that jumped on me about 10, 15 minutes ago.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll have to investigate where this delay is coming from, or maybe we're all talking at like 50% speed and it's very confusing for people in chat. But there you go. Any parting thoughts? Anything else you'd like to mention before we're out for the night?
It's always nice to spend some time at sea.
I didn't see any great white sharks, did I? Or blue whales?
You might have. Maybe we'll look into that next session.
Then I will just say, there are good ships and there are great ships and there are ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships, and that's how it always shall be. Arr!
Good job.
Nicely done. I think it's hard to cap that one. Night, everybody.